Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun and today I'm here to review the Thor Love and Thunder teaser that we've all been waiting for. Now, Thor Love and Thunder has actually somehow managed to set a new record for the MCU, which is the shortest time between, let's just say, the marketing push and the actual film, because typically you get the teaser trailer for a movie of this size, of a Thor Love and Thunder, a movie that can potentially make $200 million. This is a potential billion-dollar movie. You get the teaser for this anywhere between 5, 6, sometimes even a year in advance. At least the teaser. I've seen films that put out the teaser for the film a year in advance, and then kind of like when it starts to simmer down and people start talking about it, 5 months out, they put out the official trailer. 5 months out, put out a second trailer. Maybe the next, 2 months out, put the second trailer out, 2 months out. You know, they put little, and then they start, putting out smaller stuff, boom, 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 smaller stuff. But like this one, like I say, I've seen them put teasers out 5 months out. I've seen them, honestly, this is even a shorter window than Hawkeye. I remember a long while ago before Hawkeye came out, I was like, there was no teaser, there was no poster for Hawkeye. There was no teaser poster for Hawkeye. There was nothing. And I was like, I was kind of worried because I know Hawkeye comes out in like 4 weeks. I'm like, Hawkeye comes out in like 4-5 weeks, and we don't even have a teaser trailer or a poster yet. And I was a bit worried, but they picked it up, and we got the teaser trailer, and then we got the official trailer, and whatnot. So, 2-month window, which, by the way, means that this damn thing comes out, I believe, either the next month after Doctor Strange or the next month after the next month. Either way, the window for these Marvel movies are shrinking, because there's just so many of them. That's very interesting to see. That Doctor Strange, like Thor Love and Thunder comes out, I believe 2 months from now, so I think it comes out, it basically comes out a month and a half after Doctor Strange comes out, so there's not going to be much gap in between there, and in between all that, Miss Marvel will be out, so there's going to be a lot of Marvel, just Marvel in general, but either way, I love Thor Ragnarok. To me, Thor Ragnarok is the most fun movie in the MCU. Is it the best movie in the MCU? I'm not sure. It's in my top 10 MCU movies. I can tell you that for a fact. It is guaranteedly in my top 10, depending on my mood, top 5. But I'm not sure. I would guarantee it's in the top 10. Maybe, depending on my mood, depending on how I'm feeling on that day, it may lean more towards the 9 or the 10 or the 8. And then sometimes it's just kind of like, But either way, I have so much fun with that movie. It's the most fun of the MCU movies. There are a couple, most of the MCU is predicated on you being a fan of, maybe not a fan of Marvel, but a fan of of genre, and a fan of sci-fi, and a fan of, of that kind of a thing to really appreciate. But Thor Love and Thunder, and Thor Love and Thunder, Black Panther, Winter Soldier, and a couple other Marvel films, the original Iron Man. Those films you don't really have to be a fan of in my opinion, those are films that you really don't have to be a fan of a superhero to appreciate. And for me, Thor Ragnarok was always the easiest film to put on. It's the one I can watch on repeat. I can't watch many films on repeat, even films I love. I can't play many video games that I've played, I can't play them again most of the time. And I can't watch many shows over again. But Thor Ragnarok, I can watch over and over and over again because it's such a breeze, it's so fun, it's just it's a joy. Who doesn't want to see joy? So, hearing that Taika was coming back to do this fourth one, Love and Thunder, I was excited. You hear that they're bringing back Natalie Portman to play Mighty Thor. You hear they're getting Christian Bale to come in and play Gorr The God Butcher. You're hearing that this is going to be that Mighty Thor story that I recently read. And it's going to be an amalgamation of the Mighty Thor with Gorr The God Butcher in the Jane Foster aspect. It's going to be this interesting thing. On top of the fact that the Guardians will be in this, and Thor will like, there's so much I'm hearing about this film that just got me pumped. And it's why I said months ago, I said weeks, maybe yeah, months ago, let's say months ago, that this is the movie I'm most anticipated for. This is the movie I'm most hyped for this year, because I know it is going to be a blast. It is going to be a joyride. I am not going to be disappointed. Like, this is the only movie, like, every film I could potentially disappoint me. It's the only one that I'm like, I know I'm good, I'm not going to be disappointed. And this trailer, it lived up to me. Or the teaser, because it was at its heart a teaser. You didn't really get too much details. The teaser was really about showing you where Thor's mindset is, you know, in the immediate aftermath of Endgame. Where his mindset is, you know, tone, of course. You know, just getting across the wonderment of how, and getting across the scale of this. This is going to be a very galactic, universal hopping kind of a story. If the first Thor was basically in either Asgard or New Mexico, the second Thor was mainly in Asgard or, goddamn, where were they at in England? Were they in France? No, were they in France or were they in Britain? I can't remember, but wherever that area is. You know, and the third Thor is basically in Asgard. It's in Earth, Asgard, and Sakaar. This one looks like it's going to be in even more locations. This one looks like it's going to be a very intergalactic, like, going from, you know, location to location. Kind of like how Endgame was. Because Endgame was a lot like, I mean, Infinity War was a lot like that. With them going from planet to planet. It really felt very space opera-y in the way that they went from these different locations. So you get the vibe, like, this is like, they really are, this is really raising the stakes in terms of the scales. You know what I mean? And in terms of the story, at least the base story, because like I said, they don't really give too much away, but what you can see in it, you can kind of get a little bit of tidbits. First of all, the cool little beginning montage of him running and them showing him growing up, I caught it just like many other people caught it, the classic OG Thor outfit was somewhere in there, which means that at a certain point when Thor was a boy, when Thor was like a teenager, he wore the classic old school, like, original Thor comic book outfit with the wing helmet and the weird, like he literally wore that and the red cape and everything, which is kind of funny to think about, that it's like he actually wore that at one point. So I definitely caught that. Sweet Child of Mine being used. You knew they were gonna pick a great song. You know, after using the Immigrant song in Thor Ragnarok, which was just amazing, just that dun 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 dun. Like, after using that, you're just like, okay, what are you gonna pick? And then they go with Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses, which was just, it was lovely. It was lovely. And you knew it, you know that, you know it when you hear it, you know that song, and it really fit well with the tone that they're going for. And the tone that they're going for is essentially Thor, at least from what I'm seeing, seems a bit lost. Or he doesn't really know who he is, and he's like, you know, I know who I'm not. That's basically all he figured out, is I know who I'm not, and I'm not gonna try to live up to that. That's what he figured out at the end of Endgame. But once he, you know, gave up the throne and gave it to Valkyrie and say, you're better suited to do this, you know, I don't, like, I'm gonna join the Guardians and just gonna figure my shit out. After that, it seems like, by the way, I do think the Guardians, there's gonna be some time that has passed with him hanging out with the Guardians. Just the way Star-Lord looks a bit rougher, and the rest of the Guardians and whatnot. It just seems like there's going to be some time he spent with the Guardians. And even after spending time with the Guardians, he's going to realize that he doesn't want this either. And I do think that I'd say, the first 30 minutes of the movie is going to be very breezy. It's going to be very, like, him trying shit, him going around. There's a scene where it looks like he's on a pirate ship making out with some girl. Like, I wouldn't put it back, because, you know, he makes a big emphasis at top, like, you know, these hands aren't for battle anymore, these hands are for peace. So you get the vibe that, like, he's gonna go all hippie and just go world travel hippie and just be like, I'm gonna just go around, see things, and, you know, I'm just gonna enjoy my retirement, I'm not gonna get involved in this stuff anymore. He's gonna leave the Guardians, you know, somewhere at the beginning of the movie, after he goes through his workout montage with him just doing that shit with these massive chains with his gut, but he's clearly getting, you know, he's getting into shape, which is hilarious, by the way, because I love this little tidbit, and I caught that, first of all, On his hat, it says strongest Avenger. Which is funny to think that he just went back home and just got that hat. Which he does, at a certain point, go back to New Asgard, obviously. Now, you don't see Gorr in this, but, like, you know, we don't need to see Gorr yet. Like, right now, they're just getting across the main protagonist and what's going on with him. And what this feels like it's going to be is, it's going to be very similar to Spider-Man No Way Home, and Captain America Captain America Civil War, where there's a lot going on, but at its core, it's about the main protagonist and what the main protagonist is going through, and how the main protagonist is handling all of these different things. At the end of the day, that's what it's going to be about. And I'm curious, like, the way they set up his retirement, and the way they set up Jane Foster at the end, looking fantastic. Natalie Portman looks great in the fucking Mighty Thor outfit. I think she looks phenomenal, and she got buff, man. She got buff for this. But the vibe I'm getting is, like, I can't tell where they're going. I don't think they're gonna kill Thor. So, that's not gonna happen. They're not gonna kill him. But, like, he seems like, and they set up his whole retirement bit, but I'm like, is he gonna retire at the end and just let Jane be Thor? Is that what's gonna happen? Or is it gonna be one of those things? Because, like, you just get the feeling, it's called Love and Thunder. So you get the vibe that Thor will find love, and it's no coincidence. I think that it's no coincidence that while he's lost and he doesn't quite know what he's gonna do with his life, and that's pretty relatable to me. That's relatable as fuck. I mean, I understand, you know, like when you take a step back and you're just like, once you take a step back and what you think you were meant to do, what you think you're meant to do, what your parents think you're meant to do, with some other person whose opinion you value thinks that you're meant to do. When you take a step back and you realize I don't want to do that, then what do you do? Because then you have to ask the question of, well, what the fuck do I want to do? And I've had that happen to me. You know, it's happening to me right now. We just take a step back and you're just like, okay, what the fuck do I want to do? And that's what's happening to Thor. He's like, you know, all my life I've been told I'm this. I've been, you know, building myself as this. But, you know, now I'm like, I'm not so sure about that anymore. I'm not so sure if I'm supposed to be that anymore. I'm not so sure if I want to be that anymore. Also got some cool shots of Olympus. Fucking, we see Zeus, their version of Zeus, with the lightning bolts just going all over the place, which is cool, which of course, you know, I have to ask the question, like, there's been a lot going on right now with Marvel and gods. You got the Egyptian gods on fucking Moon Knight. You already had the Asgardians. Like I said, now you got the Olympians. I mean, you got the Celestials. Like, I'm telling you right now, Marvel's getting nuts. They're getting nuts. And God help us what the fuck we're gonna see in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. We might see Cthulhu come through that motherfucker. We might see, like who knows? We might see Cthulhu. They might actually have Cthulhu in this. Because in Marvel Comics, Cthulhu actually exists. But I digress. Like, Marvel's getting big. And this movie looks so fun. Great song. Chris Hemsworth and Chris Pratt and Chris Hemsworth still got their whole thing going. Though it's one of those things that's so funny but sad at the same time. Because Chris Pratt's clearly trying to give Thor a heart-to-heart conversation and be like, you know, if you ever feel lost, just look at the people who love you and you love. And, you know, and like and while he's saying it and he's looking at the Guardians, because, you know, of course, Star-Lord loves the Guardians, like the people you love. You just see, okay, you just see fucking, you know, Thor just kind of come into his vision, like, try to get inside of his vision because he thinks he loves him. Because he's like, oh, well, you don't love me? And the little like hurt, like the tad hurt, the trying to play off the hurt of, oh no, I was just listening to you. It's like, man, I was like, oh man, that sucks. He thought he loved you. But either way, man, like, this was really fun. I can't wait to see more of it. I can't wait to see an action sequence, because we really didn't get to see too much action sequence. They were just really setting up tone, really setting up where Thor's mind is, really setting up the world, and like, the passage of time seems pretty apparent. They really didn't put out what happened. And they did put out a synopsis basically saying, the synopsis basically says that Thor is trying to retire, and in the process of trying to do that, all of a sudden this guy, Gorr the God Butcher, starts going around murdering gods, which, by the way, means that there are going to be more gods. First of all, there are shots in this that are just taken straight out of the comic. Like that shot with that big giant ice creature ripped right out of the comics. Also, Valkyrie looks like being king is not all it's cracked up to be. And Asgard, new Asgard be this huge tourist attraction. Really, really cool. Actually, I actually heard that new Asgard was supposed to be in Spider-Man Far From Home, but they didn't. But it didn't make it. Like they didn't know what they were gonna do with it, and they didn't make it in. So that was interesting. Actually, if you read in the ticker in Spider-Man No Way Home, you see new Asgard in the little ticker section. So that's kind of cool. You know, interconnectivity. Man, this is a good week, bruh. This is a good week, man. Got I'm hyped for Doctor Strange, and every trailer that comes out for that makes me hype. I'm watching Moon Knight, like, yeah. I got this Thor trailer, so I'm like, yeah. I got that Ms. Marvel trailer not that long ago, so I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you guys want from me, Marvel. You take all my money, okay? Like, can I just put, like, I feel like I should put away, like, $300 or something. Just put it on the side and just give it to them ahead of time, so then they could just leave me alone for the rest of the year. Cause I'm just like, dude, y'all can't make me too hyped, man. Y'all can't have me anticipating all this shit. And like that's on top of other things that I'm hyped for this year. But man, I am excited for this. I am hyped for this. I was waiting for this. It lived up. I can't wait for the official trailer where we're gonna get the real meaty shit. But either way, thank you guys for the Comic Game Movie Show. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. What did you think about the Thor Love and Thunder teaser? Comment below and let me know. I will see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.